So you stress a lot on inclusivity, but over the past few months or years, so to speak, Perikatan Nasional is seen as a platform that only propagates hate speech. That's how its detractors look at it, especially from the past, where it seems only concerned about Malay-Muslim issues, and some of the statements are very acerbic and very vitriolic that it scares the non-Muslims. So how are you going to overcome this?
This is not new. This question is now, but that question has been raised many times before by keen political observer or interested parties, be it politicians and non-politicians, because Malaysia is a mix of many. So I do acknowledge that different thinking and different way of how they assess parties, especially members of Perikatan Nasional. Bersatu is like that, PAS is like this, Pakar Gerakan and MIPP and others that come in to support us as well. But it is okay. But if you ask me that question, I ask you again, did you not remember that we were once in the government? I led that government, which is Perikatan Nasional, in the most difficult of times. It is a COVID times where we need to come up in a way instantaneously in how to resolve the problem. Managing COVID, make sure not many people will die for obvious reason. And of course, helping to manage the economy so that the economy will not collapse. That's a very serious situation. Who are those people in that government? I ask you. PAS is there? Yes. MCA is there, MYC is there. You can say it's like more than an extension of like a PN that you now know. So what do? We do what is necessary. Did you ever hear during that time PAS talks about potong kaki, potong tangan, potong kepala? Huh? So what I'm trying to say is unavoidable because PAS existence has been for long, more than 7 decades. What have been their forte in terms of not only Malay, in terms of Muslim, in terms of many other fields as well. Now PAS, as you can see from the profile of leaders, are not from Cairo, from Jordan. They come from Europe countries. They come from universities. MB of Terengganu, of course, you know, is a scientist, aeronautical engineers, qualified coming in from US, if I'm not mistaken. And those are the actual profiles of the later leaders within PAS. So which means they too understand, I think, which I think over time when I spoke to them, that they have to move forward. To be national in nature, to be in the federal government, for example, is not talking about hukum-hukum. Even the Muslims sometimes nowadays are tak suka sangat nak dengar hukum. They know the hukum. If you are Muslim, what is halal, what is haram. Of course, the non-Muslim Malaysia too, I think they know hukum as well. And they respect that. You respect Muslim, we respect Hindus, Christian, whatnot. So, but of course, you cannot avoid it at certain occasion, individual. It's not the position of the party. You know, some comment come from individual, and there will be some leaders from PAS who say there is the personal view of those individuals. It doesn't reflect PAS personal position.
Well, don't you most of the time those kind of views come from the president himself?
Well, it depends what issue. And you know, you have to interpret in the broader sense. As much as he raised the issue of Islam, and he normally quote the hadith and Quran, and of course, sejarah Islam yang lampau. There are certain things which are valid. But being non-Muslim like you, I'm sorry to say, maybe you are not qualified to understand, and sometimes you misinterpret it. So I think what is happening now, after leading Perikatan for the many years I've been with them now very regularly, talk to them, I think they understand that, you know, moving forward is about understanding the multi-ethnicity and religious backgrounds of Malaysian. You have to have certain respects of others. And of course, in certain cases where you believe strongly in certain issues of Islam, that has to also be well explained. I'm a Muslim. My father was also a religious teacher. But you don't see me like going that way because I understand that. I've gone through years and more than 5 decades in politics. I understand what people want, what not. So what I'm trying to say, moving forward, as what we have shown during the time when we lead government, it is not what you think will happen. Will you be fair to all races? We are the only party at that time. This is what I can quote you, Wee Ka Siong, who were my transport ministers at that time. That was the last day before I went to the palace to submit my resignation letter. We called for a special meeting of cabinet. I chaired, then I gave chance to all the members, especially leaders of the party, to speak. One which I couldn't even forget until now is what Wee Ka Siong said. That he said he has been in cabinet many, many times, different government before. But sir, this cabinet of yours that I have been now, even though for a short while, did not even discuss about race. Kita tak bincang soal Melayu, kita tak bincang soal Cina, kita tak bincang India dan lain-lain. Kita bincang hal semua. Kebetulan, timing is because we're facing this pandemic. Do you want just to treat the Malays so that Malay will survive and let the rest die? No. We provide vaccine for everybody. We find food on the table for everyone. I must say, that is what Perikatan Nasional is all about. So don't get a misunderstanding of 1, 2, 3. Sir, these people say that. It does not reflect. Because when you run as a government, you have responsibility. You have laws, you have constitution. Even you want to change law to suit what you feel is right, you got to go to parliament. In parliament, it's not you alone. There are Malay, Chinese, Indian who debated in parliament before the laws are approved. So there are already safeguards. And the principal safeguard is the constitution. Right? So if you understand that, this is what PN stand for. We uphold the constitution. We uphold the rights of every individual, right to speak, right to defend yourself, freedom of the press, whatever it is provided there, hak Melayu, hak bukan Melayu, bahasa, everything is all there.
Sorry Tan Sri, cuma pemerhatian kita di luar kan, dalam kita tengok dua era PAS dalam kerajaan dan PAS di luar kerajaan. Zaman waktu PAS dalam kerajaan sama Tan Sri memang cemerlang, tengok memang satu PAS yang kita sangat tenang lah, tenang, very inclusive, engage. Tapi bila di luar kerajaan kadang-kadang macam-macam isu keluar.
Biasalah, siapa pun dalam kerajaan itu cakap luar kerajaan macam dia tak ada rasa guided by certain policy of that particular government. Let's go to the real fact on the ground in the 4 northern states, SG4 they call it, all led by Perikatan, I would say. But all the MPs are PAS. Yes. But we are also in the government there. We are ESCO, we are Timbalan Speaker, we are in the government. Very much part of ESCO. Even today in Perli, you can see we are part of the government. So what is happening down there? It is led by PAS, right? But I would say for the many years I've been with them, and of course now so, I did not see anything which I believe is injurious to India. Kalau you duduk di Kelantan. Or you do Terengganu, I have another Indian friend of mine who is very close to me, who has a parent, are doctors. Kebetulan in that area, only one Indian in Terengganu. They were very happy. They don't feel like, as you said, sidelined, or they were mistreated, or they got potong kaki, potong tangan. Did you hear that? Come on, we face reality. It's not so. So what is being projected by individuals, which actually does not represent party, cannot be a referral point to say this is what Perikatan stand for. And we say about federal, it's Perikatan Nasional. It's not PAS government. PAS government have been before, but they never lead in federal. So when I form Perikatan, because PAS is willing to come, in a way it's process of, I don't know what word could be used, of creating a better understanding of what Malaysia is all about. As much as you profess very strong religious background, that does not mean that you should compromise that for your own sake at the expense of the rest. And I stand for that.
See, in your last government, when you were Prime Minister, sir, Bersatu and yourself were seen as the moderate force balancing this coalition. But since then, to the lay observer, it seems as if Bersatu has been sidelined. And you as well, and past has come to the forefront and dominated the narrative.
Not quite correct. You can say so. I was discussing with Ainun, where are we being sidelined? In the first instance, who lead Perikatan? All right. There were later views, I don't have to quote who, you know who. They say we should lead. We should be, I don't know, whatever the leader lah. But the other top leaderships are very aware, saying that they feel it is okay for Bersatu to lead. They nominate me then, I'm not talking for the future, that you should be the poster boy. One. So I stood in that position until now. If I want to go for voting, I sure kalah one. But they don't go on voting, we go on a consensus. And that's what the principle when we run our party. That's one thing. But secondly, of course, in many matters, we have this now opportunity where, for example, in Parliament, so we have members of Parliament from Bersatu, they are there now debating, and from PAS, these are the two parties in Parliament. We have come to a term, for example, to make sure that everybody has a fair share to voice and speak in Parliament. So literally, we susun. Now you pass, after PAS Bersatu, after PAS Bersatu, after PAS Bersatu. It's much improved than before, so that the voice of both sides have been heard to champion whatever cause you want to champion. So in many other things, for example, the appointment of Ketua Pemangkang in Parliament. I must tell you, this is not a secret. I said to Guru Hadi, Tuan Ibrahim, top leaders, we sit down when Parliament session was just beginning to appoint who should be the Ketua Pemangkang. I was very magnanimous. It has to be from PAS. But the PAS leaders said, no. You, Tan Sri. I said, why? You are the bigger party in Parliament. So I said, okay, if that is the case, I will not want to be the Ketua Pemangkang. I said, Hamzah, who is our Sekjen, Hamzah, you be the Ketua Pemangkang. And this is what happened today. So what sideline? Okay, the reality is this is more important than you bercakap, sana tak bercakap. No, everybody is free to speak about anything. Cuma, of course, is the visibility lah, or what we call pendengaran tu mungkin tak begitu rupa, which we acknowledge. Now we review our position from time to time to make sure that what need to be said or done, even to some extent, we have to show it, that we can say that and we can do it. For example, on issues. Apa dia isu-isu yang PAS bercakap dan Bersatu tak bercakap? In Parliament, both spoke on the same thing about cost of living. Because I was there, we discussed, even we have got portfolio. We have set up portfolio. Portfolio is more like shadow cabinet, I think. You on this, you on this, you on this. And they're all very good, not much more than before. Strengthened by support from resources from outside, the expert, the fellows that come in to support them. So basically, we can speak everything. So, but I said, visibility in the way like media. Thank you lah, Malaysiakini kadang-kadang okey, kadang tak okey lah, tak apalah. Kita faham, ni negara bebas bercakap. Cuma di sana tak boleh begitu. In that sense, so we understand, like we have our team to manage our social media, influencers and those things. Not big. We don't have, I mean, not lamenting, but we don't have surat khabar kita tak ada radio, kita tak ada television, ya. Bukan pasal kita bukan kerajaan. Yang ada sana pun, dia ada surat khabar dia sendiri. Saya baru mula nak buka surat khabar pun saya tak ada duit. Tak payah masuklah ini cerita. Tak perlulah. Maknanya apa? We recognize there are certain area that we need to strengthen. Media social is definitely one of the area. A regular meeting to have correct input, to say the right thing. It's being built up now. I don't say that we have achieved what we thought we should be achieving, but at least we know what our shortcoming and what we feel need to be done to overcome it.